Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Thank you for the feedback on the wall hanging behind me. It is a old family, something that's been in, well, first of all, it was my husband's very, very good friend in his family. He passed it on to my husband to me actually. To have here in our family, and it actually is a hand spun. It came from Africa, and it was spun by the women there. I'm not sure what region, but it depicts various scenes in African, I guess, tribal living. Living very close to the land is the thing that I get most from that wall hanging. It is absolutely beautiful, but no, you can't purchase it. Someone asked me where to purchase it. It's just very old, like me. Okay, so let's take a bit of a look at the energy before we get started here. Just want to do a couple of questions that viewers have asked. We'll look at the vaccines, some of the side effects, of course, that are coming, particularly around the AstraZeneca vaccine, but we'll just, and that is blood clotting. A number of European countries have suspended the rollout. But we'll look at vaccines more generally, whether there's anything long term we need to look to be concerned about. I always think with vaccines that the actual getting of COVID itself can be deadly, whereas the vaccine doesn't, isn't. The side effects they're seeing don't appear to be any more than what would be seen in the population that hadn't been vaccinated. That's what they say. All right, we'll look at that. I also want to take a look at how Merrick Garland is settling in, and also what's happened between Kushner and the ex-president. What has caused this distance? And the other question I had, if indeed the ex-president meant to take over the capital, what would he have done if he had have succeeded? We'll see where that goes. Hopefully I'll get to all those questions. We'll see. All right, just some energy cards. I'm using my own Revealing Light Oracle, then the Radiant Wise Spirit cards, and the Aquarian Tarot if need be. All right, so let's get some energy cards here. It's the overarching energies that people need to be aware of. Might not even be thinking about that, but the underlying energy at the moment that you want to bring forward messages around. Show me clearly, please. What is the overarching energy here? Oh, something's fallen out, strength. And I think that's indeed what we're seeing. This is a Leo energy, obviously. Corresponds to pretty much the same kind of energy as the strength card in the tarot has. This is around self-knowledge. This is around self-acceptance and awareness of your own value. And this card's asking you to contemplate that, to really contemplate that. And this is associated with the root chakra, which of course is our security and trust in the world. We may not be able, or, sometimes people let us down. We may not be able to trust some people, unfortunately. When I say trust, they're doing their own thing. They're on their own path and their own journey. One thing we can do is look at our own strengths. And it reminds me of the lone wolf. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the pack, but can look after him or herself. So strength, contemplating your own strength, and being aware of your own strength. We have intuition, let go and trust yourself. There's no better message here. I've got a Pisces energy around this card, and we've certainly had a lot of Pisces in the transits at the moment. Several up in that mid-heaven, a lot of major planets in Pisces, all converging around that ninth, I think is it the 9th and 10th house? I probably should have had a look. But we've got this Piscean energy, and getting in touch with our own intuition and letting it direct us will lead to, and of course there's a spiritual aspect to this, isn't there? Whenever we start to draw on ourselves, whenever we trust ourselves and become aware of our own power, we're actually activating the spirituality and the divine within us, and that is so strong. Now we have Cancerian energy and a Venus energy here. Love is, what is love? That's a good question to ask ourselves. Always hopeful, infinite and divine, and well worth the climb. 32, again, you know, when we're feeling like we're undergoing great change. This can also be love of the self as well. So some nice underlying energies there, and also around Mercury and Libra. I think the moon is in Libra on the 28th of March, and I want to do a specific reading on that. I think in the 7th house, and it's quite powerful. My own moon is in Libra. Conflict and resolution are the building blocks of learning. And if you want to look at what shines a light on something, it's when you give people a second chance. Not everybody needs to be written off and, put in the do not contact basket forever and a day. Sometimes people are under tremendous pressure, and we just have to have compassion for them, walk a mile in their shoes, and giving them that second chance is so liberating, because it says that we're free of the attachment that anger or resentment had over us. So nice energies there coming from the Oracle. Now, I always forget what I was going to read on. I get so immersed in the messages that I'm bringing forward. Vaccines. Okay, so, some are safer than others. I think that's what I'm getting. Or some are more stable, or some work better and more effective than others. Not every vaccine is the same. So let's just take them generally and see if there's any long-term impacts. Are there any long-term impacts of taking these vaccinations? Are there any long-term impacts of taking these vaccinations? Well, this is the longer term. It's also around patience, but this is a period of time. Okay, let's see what the challenge is. The Three of Wands, 2 and 3 of Wands. A wait. Okay, so this could also be in the having to wait during your second dose. Be very mindful that just because you've had one dose, you can't just rush out and head off into COVID country and expect not to have something happen. There's something around waiting. I'm getting a time period here, so they may not be as effective in that first little while. But this is also having to wait for them, and I'm getting an overseas aspect here in this Three of Wands. Sometimes this can be foreign shores. 2 and 3. Yeah, okay. So there's a great deal of anxiety. I always hesitate to read on vaccinations because all it does is unleash the anti-vax brigade, which, I believe in the power of vaccinations to alleviate things like polio and other things. And it's just always causing controversy as soon as you start to read on vaccinations. But I do believe there are a lot of people anxious about this particular question, hence why people are asking me to read on it. It's keeping them up. There are some people who haven't decided whether to actually have the vaccine. And, it's good to hear from people who have. Now, I think the biggest reason for worry is that they were developed so quickly. There was no real time. Something that should have taken maybe 3 to 5 years longer has been done virtually in 12 months. Now we've got the Hanged Man. I'm picking up the controversy around the AstraZeneca. I'm not surprised. The AstraZeneca vaccine. Now in America, you'll be having your Pfizer, your Moderna vaccines. There's the problem with the AstraZeneca in terms of European countries have suspended that particular vaccine. Whether that was the correct decision or not. Now there is the Seven of Swords here, which can be self-sabotage as well, but really it has the energy of deception. That's in the immediate future. For those that may be getting AstraZeneca, if you can, well, everybody has to decide for themselves, but there is something that is being misrepresented here. I'm just going to put it there. I have to read the cards as I see them. There is no other way to read that. It's in the immediate future. So there may have been an increased risk of some side effects, which hasn't necessarily been, out there in front in relation to some vaccinations, not all. Now we have the Queen of Swords here. Use your own logic, do your own research, make your own decisions. Don't give that decision away to the drug company trying to, or even to the government. You need to make your own decisions here. Okay, now we have the King of Cups in the environment around. Let's not go down the path of thinking that everything is sinister. The King of Cups is a very open, honest, transparent type of energy. It is my card for the Biden administration. Plans and strategies to roll out. This could be this as well, the rollout of the vaccinations. Yeah, it's not been an easy process, I think, for anybody, and we're weary. We need to open things up. We need to try and get back to normal. I have the King of Pentacles here. Business, making money. The World card here. There's a lot of money in these vaccinations, but they do offer a new start. So I think the best advice here, are there any longer term effects? It doesn't appear. I haven't got the Four of Swords. I haven't got the Five of Cups. I haven't got any of those cards that would indicate major issues. But I do get that there is some, the whole story is not being told. And the reason why is that there is this money and even opening up economies again with this King of Pentacles needing the new start. What's the base of the pack? This is holding back information, I feel. The the Sun card, wanting to get back out of isolation. And of course, it really impacting on economies. So with this latest, I'm going to AstraZeneca. The fact that the European countries have suspended it, you shouldn't take that lightly. You need to do your own research, make up your own mind, and weigh up the risks, and that includes catching COVID and possibly becoming very, very ill from that. So watch and wait, I think, is the good counsel. While they sort out whatever these side effects are with that particular vaccination, I don't see, as I said, I don't see major issues with longer term issues, though, because I just didn't get those cards. So what is, maybe just a couple of cards, what is that Seven of Swords about? What's that Seven of Swords? Seven of Swords. Misrepresenting something. Yeah, well, Five of Swords is an abuse of some description of power and loss, walking away. And we've got the Ten of Wands, yeah. So, again, good counsel. You have to weigh the risks up with anything you put in your body, and this is no different. So let's just see where that goes. But longer term, I didn't see any really worrying cards. But I do have that Seven of Swords. I do have that Seven of Swords. So do your homework and make your minds up based on weighing up the risks. All right, let's take a look at, I think now, what's between Kushner, married to the ex-president's daughter, writing a book apparently about how he saved the world. I'm saying that with derision. What's between he and Trump? Competition, and really that's what flew out. Wanting to take credit. Can you believe that? Wanting to take credit for the Middle East deal. Kushner's too big for his boots, and the two have fallen out. There he is. The two have fallen out, and it is over the loss. Okay, so there's something here around the ex-president blaming Kushner. Kushner also thinking that he was responsible for the most successful parts of the ex-president's term. And something could have been leaked as well. Something around foreign policy. This could be the Khashoggi matter. Their experiences together, they're each blaming one another, and they're competing against one another, which is a really toxic relationship, isn't it, to have? No wonder they're putting distance between the two. Okay, and there's something around the Seven of Pentacles, reviewing plans not working out, plans not going the right way. Does the ex-president blame Kushner? Does the ex-president blame Kushner? I think for not winning, it's the COVID stuff that he's got the most sort of resentment toward Kushner over. Does the ex-president blame Kushner for anything? Yeah, there's a level of anxiety here. What is this about? And we've got loans and debts. So this could be Kushner worried about Ivanka's role in everything, but also what's likely to come out. And he's keeping his distance. It's not a happy family camp here. That much is obvious. They're worried about the law. They're worried about lawmakers. Yeah, the loss of the election. The Five of Pentacles. What's in the sky? Wow. That relationship could be completely severed. It has the potential to be completely severed. And if one goes down, the other will go down as well. Yeah. There was something around money. Now, I don't know what it is. Giving something to somebody that perhaps they weren't authorized to do, or they didn't have the power to do. There's some kind of monetary issue here. We have Biden in the here and now, and if anything has anything illegal has been done, it will be prosecuted, will be investigated and potentially prosecuted. We have the Seven of Cups, which is illusion and delusion in the environment around Biden. There was a lot that they needed to hide, a lot more to come out here. The hopes and the fears. I don't think the ex-president's going to run again. They're worried about the truth coming out. And yes, the ex-president does blame Kushner for the COVID deaths. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And we've got the victory card here and the abuse of power. So there's something that both of them are embroiled in. It's pretty sordid. The relationship is virtually, it's very distant. There was competition, each trying to take credit for something that the other did. But at the basis of this, he blames him around so many COVID deaths, and him having to take the rap for it. Now we've got the Ace of Pentacles, of course, wherever both of those people go, we would have that, and the Nine of Pentacles. I think Kushner's also worried about, as I said, Ivanka, the Hierophant, the courts, investigations. She's right there. She's already been deposed. As I said, it's like 4 years worth of 40 years of family debacles, fiascos. They got that in 4 years, so there's a real distance there. Okay, I was just going to say it couldn't have happened to nicer people. All right, let's see how. Oh yeah, okay. Let's do this question from a viewer. Around, did he actually expect them to stop the certification of the votes? Was this an actual insurrection? Was the ex-president and those around him, Flynn, etc., those he had planted in the military and other places, did the ex-president actually, he expected a miracle, did he actually expect, or did he want? Was this an insurrection? Did he attempt insurrection? I'm not talking about inciting an insurrection. I'm talking about plans laid to take over, a coup. Was the ex-president involved in a coup to overturn the election results, to overturn and take power himself? Was this a coup attempt? Yep, and it was planned. Okay, the Ace of Wands, the Lover's card. I think Spirit's being pretty obvious in these cards. The Lover's cards, that's my card for Trump. He's a Gemini, and there was a plan here, and it took more than him. The Lover's card is his relationships with others. Something in the past, something going back to the past, him being afraid of the past, the lies and deception. Okay, so he felt it was the only way. It was the only way to give him a new start, and to avoid whatever was in the past, to keep his secrets. Okay, so he had powerful reasons for doing this and avoiding an investigation. Now, this is a female. This is a female investigator, prosecutor, judge. Now, there are multiple women involved in New York, but particularly Audrey Strauss in SDNY. So he had powerful reasons not to see Biden take power. Okay, let's see how Merrick Garland... Oh, yeah, so what would he have done? What would he have done? What would Trump have done? I think... take power, abuse power, and gain financially. He would have done what he's always done. What would he have done? Let's ask with the military. If his coup attempt had have succeeded, what would he have activated the military? What would have happened then? What did he think could happen? So we've got retreat and we've got wounded in battle. We've got the spy in the camp. Now, the real big draw I get is to foreign, to Russia. Okay, and manifestation of power. I think he would have taken back power and argued that he was robbed and he was only doing what he needed to do. He would have become an authoritarian leader. Yeah, I think that's what he was hoping in that addled mind of his, aided and abetted by those that would see an authoritarian in power. Okay, now, Merrick Garland. So the worst was avoided. What is Merrick Garland doing? The Moon card has just overturned. what is Merrick Garland unearthing? Of course, he walked into the DOJ amidst beautiful, lots of clapping, and we have the hanged man here. Sorry about that noise. I've just got someone walking in the door. Okay, the hanged man. Having a look at some of those investigations that were stalled, suspended, moved aside. He's going through all of that. All right. Show me how Merrick Garland's settling in. So we have new starts. It definitely is a new start, and it's lovely to hear my viewers in the US say, we are so glad we've got our Department of Justice back. And we've got the Five of Cups, so he's looking at what was lost, and he understands that he has to focus on that to restore. He's got 2 cups left. So what he's finding is in a way, he's grieving for what has been done. It's like he's wounded at some really basic level by what he's seeing. Yeah, and we've got the King of Cups, which is my card for Biden. Let's see. Yeah, he's focusing on bringing justice back, and so this is why people who have done the wrong thing need to be mindful. He is going to go after the ex-president, absolutely, and bring him to justice. He will have to defend his actions, and I think this is over the Capitol insurrection. And I do feel money. So campaign money and other types of money misappropriated, it's all going to be focused on. He understands he has to focus on that. To bring back what? To restore what? Justice. Okay, I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. I know people have been asking about the former Attorney General. I'll do a particular read on him along with the unredacted Mueller report. Will that be released? Will the filibuster go? Looking at some of those questions as well in terms of making sure that the vote isn't suppressed in the US. Again, we're watching very carefully what you're doing with your democracy, and there are lessons there for us. So thank you for tuning in, everyone.